Hello and salam. Welcome to Muslim Viewpoint, a new podcast series powered by American Muslim Today, a groundbreaking non-profit digital newspaper who champions civic engagement. AMT informs and empowers the diverse voices of almost 30 million Muslims here in the U.S. and other Western countries. I'm Rafat Malik, I'm AMT's editor-in-chief, and today we have an interview with Gulrez Khan, who is the only Muslim Republican candidate on the ballot in Texas. He is running for U.S. Congress District 32. Khan is a philanthropist with multiple businesses and has served on numerous nonprofit boards. In 2020, he was elected as a national delegate to vote for President Donald Trump in the Republican National Convention. He currently serves as precinct chairman. He spoke to our reporter Maya Gaylor.
Well, again, thank you for making me part of this. Gulrez Khan, currently running for United States Congress, the U.S. House of Representatives, Texas District 32. District 32 comprises of parts of Dallas, Denton, and Collin counties. So I'm a Republican primary candidate, been a part of the Republican Party for almost 8 years now, and being an elected official with the Republican Party for the last 4 years. So currently I serve as a precinct chairman with the Republican Party. And 2020, I got elected to the Republican National Convention as a national delegate. Being a delegate at state conventions and precinct conventions, county conventions for a number of years, served as a sergeant at arms at the Republican Convention in Houston in 2022, ran for mayor of my city, and currently running for Congress. I'm a healthcare business owner. I co-own a healthcare company in Texas called American Star Home Health and Hospice Care. My business partner, Asif Kamar, he lives in Plano, and it's been a great partnership so far. Academically, I've got a master's degree in business administration from the United States, born and raised in India, living my American dream. Thank you.
Yeah, great. So it sounds like you've done a lot. You've been really involved. So why has it been so important for you, especially as a minority, to be involved in your government?
Okay. So first of all, any change, especially in this day and age in the democracy, the only way you can make a change is through the political process. So I have friends and I have family members. My family is very active politically as a voter. But let's say you see some injustice being done and you want to raise a voice. You can protest for some time. But again, if you are trying to benefit the society, of course, you are part of the a lot of people do philanthropy, which is great. But in order to make a change, you can only do it through the legislative process. Only if there's it converts into a bill in the Congress and which eventually passes and becomes a law, is when you can make a change. So I believe that is very important to be involved in the political process, in the legislative process, for your voice to be heard.
Right. Yeah. So can you tell me about some of the main concerns that you feel your constituents have expressed to you and that you would like to represent?
Yes, obviously. First of all, our democratic government, especially under President Biden, it has disappointed us big time. I start with the foreign policy. What's happening in Palestine and Israel? I support a truce and an immediate ceasefire. It's a lot of innocent killing taking place, and I want the global powers to get together and sit on a negotiating table to find an effective and a fair, long-term, peaceful solution to this conflict. So Democrats have failed us there. Secondly, what's happening in Russia and Ukraine? We've already sent $165 billion to Ukraine. That is our hard-earned taxpayer money, including this district. And then the other day, a Democratic-led Senate passed $95 billion, which major chunk goes to Ukraine again. It's unfair to the residents of District 32. It's unfair to Texans. It's unfair to Americans because this Democrat government, it gave us 40-year high inflation, and we still can see the aftermaths of inflation. Everything, groceries and gasoline, everything is expensive. And this is just not my viewpoint. I mean, people, especially from this district, have approached me to make sure that this is addressed. Next, we have other broken southern border. I support completing building the wall. We have had record amount of illegals coming in from our southern border. We are unprotected right now. We have terrorists coming in, prisoners coming in, human traffickers, smuggling of fentanyl, including in this district, through our southern border. And you'll be, maybe you already know this, surprised to know 47,000 Chinese came inside from our southern border illegally, and a lot of them are military trained. So what's going on? Next is I would label it as morality. Especially being an immigrant to the United States, and I think you can relate because your parents are from Mexico. We come here, of course, to succeed and live the American dreams, but also to restore our family fabric and structure. So schools nowadays, especially in District 32, little kids are being exposed to drag shows, and there's this rampant push towards gender mutilation. We don't send our kids to schools for that purpose. We want them to learn, be successful. I want schools to focus more on English and grammar and science and mathematics, not all these sexualization activities. That's immoral. And you'll be surprised, a lot of immigrant populations have, immigrant Americans have reached out to me and they said, Gulrez, this needs to be fixed. And other concerns, of course, inflation, our debt, which is $34 trillion. Each American owes $1 million towards this debt. Again, that's unfair to us. District 32, Dallas County and Collin counties, they have the highest property tax rate in the state. In fact, the city of Dallas has over $3 billion in debt. The citizens of District 32 are the ones responsible for paying this debt off, which will be paid off by 2043. Last but not least, of course, I'm for term limits for our legislators. I want to be the congressman who supports our farmers, who supports our law enforcement, who supports our teachers and teaching assistants, who supports our military. And of course, I was surprised to see, I've been, traveling all around the district, and so much homelessness, which I did not see here a few years ago. So I want to work with the nonprofits and make sure this is tackled as well.
Right, yeah, and you've kind of already touched on a couple of the things that I wanted to further address. So as far as immigration goes, as you know, this is a presidential election year. It's going to be probably Trump versus Biden again. And Trump is kind of known for his hard policies on immigration. Specifically, the Muslim ban comes to mind when we're talking to our audience. So can you please just kind of give me your thoughts on that?
Sure. See, that was, as a president of America, which is no longer there, that ban, that was under the given circumstances. Okay. So there's a Republican charter, which all Republicans in the state convention, all the delegates are exposed to, which, again, I went to Houston in 2022, and all Republicans have a copy of it. And it's going to take place 2024. Nowhere did I see anything like this being talked about. So I do not think if President Trump comes back, there'll be any kind of Muslim ban. In fact, Jared Kushner himself, they have business tie-ups with top Muslim countries. Those were temporary measures taken at that time. At the same time, Trump has known to be the only president who has not initiated any war. He's not bombed any Muslim countries. Biden has, Obama has, and other presidents have as well. So I don't think I don't anticipate any kind of Muslim ban taking place when Trump is elected.
Yeah, so and then going back to
and if I may add one more thing.
Yeah.
Prime example is me. I'm the only Muslim Republican candidate on this ballot for District 32. So I've had a great acceptance in the Republican Party. I've been Republican Party for 8 years, elected for 4 years, and they respect me. Uh, um, they value my addition to the Republican Party. So I'm a Muslim too, well accepted in the Republican Party.
Right. Yeah. So kind of going back to more international global issues, you already touched how you are maybe kind of disappointed with the Biden administration, as many people are when it comes to the conflict in Gaza. So if you could kind of just kind of give your points of view on the situation as someone running for a congressional seat, even though this issue can be a local issue.
Absolutely. I've had forums, I've had my own events where I've had met people from who originate from both countries, Israeli Americans and Palestinian Americans, and as an American, as a humanitarian, the innocent loss of lives is needs to be stopped. Okay, like I said earlier, we need to have a truce, a ceasefire immediately, so that this killing stops. And thousands have died, kids and women. It's a very sorry state of affairs. I want the leaderships of those countries and the global leaders to sit together on a negotiating table, because even World War I, II, how did they end? They ended on a negotiation table. So I want them to get together and work towards a peaceful, long-term solution to this conflict. That would be the most optimal solution to this.
Right, yeah. And then, of course, you want your constituents to vote, but is there any other ways that you would recommend for people to get involved and try to make change in the ways that you would like to see?
Absolutely. See, we are all connected with politics. Okay. So we should not say that, okay, Gulrez, don't talk to me about politics because I like to stay away from it. No, your life is affected. Nobody has, I'm not a billionaire who has all the money to run for an office. I feel it's my moral, conscientious, patriotic, and humanitarian responsibility to run for an office. Nobody likes to be insulted on platforms and ridiculed and made fun of if they don't agree with their policy. And it does not look, nobody likes to continue to ask for money for fundraising. But my country right now is in crisis. We are in crisis on the southern border. Financially, we are in crisis. So everybody should, at the grassroots levels, local, city, state, national, should be participating. They should be involving with their local political parties, local civic organizations, local groups. If they're citizens, vote for sure, and be an integral part of the fabric of our society here.
Okay, well, thank you so much for your time today, Mr. Khan. I don't have any further questions for you unless you just wanted to add anything about your campaign or voting or anything like that.
Right. Well, the registration for early voting is over, which was February the 5th, but the general elections, it's still on until a month before the general elections in November. I would, I'm running for the right causes, the American causes, the humane causes. I feel God's push towards running for this office. My primary elections start on February 20th and go all the way to March 1st, 2024. Primary election day is March 5th. Again, it's the first time a Muslim man is running from the Republican side in this primary for District 32. I know there's a lot of Muslim and non-Muslim community in this area. And being a Muslim in this race and supporting fighting for all the causes which they stand for. If I don't get the majority Muslim vote, I'll be very disappointed. And then secondly, for my campaign, they can visit my website. It's gconforcongress.com. And if they want to email me, it's gcon@gconforcongress.com. So I would appreciate everybody's vote, support, and prayers. And if they want to reach out to me anytime, I'm available.
Well, early voting for the primary elections is February the 20th to March the 1st, and the elections will be held on March the 5th. Visit votetexas.gov to find your voting location. Thank you for joining us this week from me and Maya. Be sure to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at American Muslim Today. And if you'd like to read more about this story and access more digital content, feel free to check out our website, AmericanMuslimToday.com, and we'll see you next week on The Muslim Viewpoint.